This morning on Sunrise, Moderna is working to get FDA approval for its COVID-19 vaccine booster for all adults. When the vote is expected to happen, coming up. Also, a Marion County woman is behind bars this morning after a SNAP fraud investigation. What we know so far, just ahead. And another man has been found guilty in the 2019 robbery turned murder of a Hattiesburg store owner. What the latest information is and more now on WDAM 7 Sunrise.
We're proud to always be on your side. Good morning, Pine Belt. This is WDAM 7 Sunrise.
Hello, and thank you for waking up with us this morning. I'm Vanessa Pacheco. It's Thursday, November 18th. And before heading out the door and starting your day, you may want to grab a rain jacket because it may be raining later today. Let's head over to Patrick for the latest. Patrick, did you bring your rain jacket today?
I always make sure I have that rain jacket on rainy days. That way I'm always prepared. Did you bring my umbrella? No comments. She's pleading the fifth. Imagine that. All right, but yeah, we're going to be seeing some rain move in later on this morning. But right now, the big story is the fog that we're seeing. Look how foggy it is right now up at Jones College in Ellisville, 62 degrees. As we take a live look at the Alpha Insurance Camera Network, winds right now are calm. And as you can see, it's a very foggy start, not only in Ellisville, but it's all across the region with visibility down below a half a mile in many locations. So everywhere you're seeing the yellow, the orange, or the red, those are areas of some very dense fog. So slow down and be careful this morning. Around the region, we're into the 60s, 61 right now in the Hub City, 63 in Ellisville, 63 in Laurel, 60 in Columbia, and it's currently 62 in Purvis. But rain is on the way. You can see it off towards our west this morning as this cold front comes through the area. It's not going to have a lot of rain, but it will bring us some colder temperatures. We'll talk about it in your full forecast here in a few minutes.
Thank you for that, Patrick. We're on your side this morning with an update in the 2019 murder of Hattiesburg grocery store owner Lisa Wynn. According to Forest County Court Administrator Brittany Stewart, Jatiron Tuggle was found guilty by a jury on both counts of capital murder and conspiracy to commit armed robbery. Tuggle was sentenced to life without parole on the capital murder charge and 20 years on the conspiracy charge, according to Stewart. Wynn was shot and killed during the armed robbery back in July of 2019. Tuggle was arrested in Jackson a month later, along with fellow suspect Jaquarius Quay Randall. Mississippi's first execution since 2012 has happened. David Neal Cox died by lethal injection at Parchment last night. Cox was sentenced to death in 2012. He was convicted 2 years prior for having killed his wife and sexually assaulting his stepdaughter in 2010. Cox had been writing to the court since 2018. In those writings, he said he was worthy of death and wanted to waive all appeals. He also indicated he would do it again if given the chance. MDOC Commissioner Burl Cain was asked whether Cox expressed any remorse in recent days.
Yes, he has. And he did a little bit this afternoon and so forth. And it's obvious, you know, that he made a lot of bad decisions. And I think he qualified it best by saying I wasn't always that bad.
MDOC says there were two witnesses for each side, the victim and offender. Cox had a spiritual advisor present, and we're told his witnesses weren't family members, but MDOC did not disclose who they were. All right, we have a scam alert to tell you about this morning. The Laurel Police Department is warning people about a scam involving the dating website OkCupid after receiving complaints this month. According to police, callers believe a woman is behind the scam. So here's an example. A caller said they messaged a woman on the dating site, then received a phone call from a man who says he's a father of the woman and said she was underage. The man allegedly demanded money to prevent any child-related crimes being pursued. Anyone with information about this criminal activity, you can contact LPD or Metro Crime Stoppers at 601-428-STOP. And speaking of scams, a SNAP fraud investigation by the State Department of Human Services has led to the arrest of a Marion County resident. Shayla Cartier received more than $26,000 in SNAP overpayments. She failed to report income and household size correctly. The case was turned over to the Marion County District Attorney due to the huge amount of money and evidence of alleged fraud. Cartier turned herself in on the 15th. We will keep you updated as we get more information. And following up on the boil water notice we told you about yesterday, it's been lifted. The West Lamar Water Association issued the notice Tuesday due to an emergency repair. It affected about 100 customers. All the samples taken from the Mississippi State Department of Health were approved. The city of Hattiesburg is continuing its traditional New Year's Eve poster contest. It's open to all Hub City residents. There's no age limit, but only one entry per person. The prompt is From Then to Now, celebrating the traditions of the Hub sign that dates back to 1912. The deadline for entries is Monday, November 29th. To enter, go to the City of Hattiesburg's Facebook page. Taking a look at the latest COVID-19 news now, Moderna is asking the FDA for emergency use authorization to approve its COVID-19 booster vaccine for adults over 18 years old. In October, the agency authorized a Moderna booster dose for people aged 65 and older and certain other at-risk adults. CDC advisors are set to meet Friday to discuss recommending booster doses of Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine for all adults. Meanwhile, a new study shows about 30% of healthcare workers in U.S. hospitals are unvaccinated against COVID-19 as of mid-September. One researcher says more efforts are needed now to improve vaccine coverage among healthcare workers, saying that will reduce the risk of transmission to patients and other hospital staff. The researcher said such effort could include educational and promotional activities and addressing misinformation. Down on the coast, Ingalls Shipbuilding has suspended its vaccine mandate deadline. According to a letter signed by the president and CEO, employees' deadline for vaccination has been suspended except for specific contracts that require it. This comes as OSHA announced it will temporarily not enforce the COVID-19 vaccine mandate. The deadline had recently been pushed back to January 4th from the original December 8th deadline after new guidance from OSHA for companies with more than 100 employees. Now, this decision has unvaccinated employees at the Stennis Space Center wondering if their company will follow suit. As of now, no change has been announced, and the company's vaccination deadline is only 4 days away. That's leaving some workers with concerns about their job security.
There is still an atmosphere of concern. I know I'm concerned. I don't know how my exception requests will be reviewed. There's a fear that they could be denied.
Later today, workers at Stennis will be joining employees at NASA centers across the country in a nationwide rally against the mandates.
And this morning, we're starting off your day pretty quiet. Temperatures right now are down into the 60s, but we're dealing with a lot of fog this morning. But rain is on the way. We'll take a look at Futurecast and look ahead to your weekend. I got you covered with all that and more here in a few minutes. Now let's head over to the First Alert Traffic Center, and let me tell you what I mean by the fog. There it is. There's the proof in the pudding. Very dense fog there. This right here is Hardy Street looking eastbound at the interstate. So we're looking back towards USM. No problems in terms of any wrecks so far, but it's incredibly foggy. So slow down. Be careful. Maybe add a few minutes to your morning commute. That way you can make it there safely. Now there's a live look courtesy of the Mississippi Department of Transportation.
Thanks for that, Patrick. Now to the news making national headlines. The Senate has honored the American troops killed in this summer's attack at an airport in Afghanistan. Last night, the Senate unanimously passed a bill awarding the 13 service members the Congressional Gold Medal. Same bill was already passed by the House. It now heads to President Joe Biden's desk for his signature. The 13 U.S. military members were killed in a suicide bombing outside the Kabul airport in August that also killed many Afghan civilians. In other news, Jacob Chansley, the man known as the QAnon shaman, was sentenced to 41 months in prison for his role in the January 6th storming of the U.S. Capitol. He pled guilty in September to one count of felony obstruction of an official proceeding. Wearing a horned first hat with no shirt and face paint, Chansley became one of the defining images of that day as rioters stormed the building. This morning, we're learning more about the lawsuits filed over the deadly Astroworld Music Festival as the funerals for the victims continue. 10 people died in the November 5th festival in Houston. all under the age of 30. Yesterday, friends and family said goodbye to 21-year-old Axel Acosta, who was crushed to death during the tragedy. His family is now part of a $750 million lawsuit. It names Travis Scott, Live Nation, Apple Music, and the Harris County Sports and Convention Corporation, among others. Attorney Tony Busby is representing the Acosta family and more than 100 other clients. Busby claims it comes down to financial motives.
I have one client that had 3 or 4 levels of bodies stacked on top of her. There was no incentive whatsoever to cancel a concert that they'd already collected 50,000 tickets from. There was no incentive to stop the live stream when Apple had already paid for the live stream exclusivity.
Busby's firm said it intends to file another lawsuit in the coming days with another 100 named plaintiffs. Still ahead on Sunrise, the Environmental Protection Agency has reversed their support of water pumps in the Mississippi Delta. And now lawmakers are speaking out. What they have to say coming up after the break, so stay with us.
The WDAM 7 Birthday Club, sponsored by Rainforest Car Wash and Krispy Kreme Donuts. Happy birthday, Pine Belt.
Alrighty, let's take a look at our birthday club winner for today. It's going to be Jamie Ainsworth Sims. Congratulations to you, Jamie. You're going to get either a free dozen donuts from Krispy Kreme or a free car wash from Rainforest. If you want to be like Jamie and be a winner, just head to our website, WDAM.com, and click on the Birthday Club tab. Welcome back, everybody. We're starting off your day with a lot of dense fog across the Pine Belt. Temperatures right now are into the 60s, so you don't need a jacket, but the fog is the big story. And as you can see, we got a lot of places reporting visibility down below half a mile, which is dense fog. So everywhere in the yellow and the orange and reds, that's dense fog that we're seeing across the Pine Belt as we start off your day. The fog will be a problem through about 8 o'clock, and then we'll see visibility quickly increase, and we'll see the fog get out of here by 9 to 10 o'clock this morning. But here's what I'm talking about. Dense fog in Ellisville, 62 right now at Jones College. You can barely see anything, and we can't even see down the road to the Walmart. There's a red light right here in front of the Walmart at Bird Avenue in Petal from our Magnolia State Baked Sky Cam, and we can't even see it this morning. So very foggy as we start off your day. Really no need for a jacket because everybody is into the low 60s. Right now, 61 in Petal, 62 in Oak Grove. It's 60 in Columbia and Foxworth, 62 in Collins, and 63 right now into the city of Laurel. But that school day forecast is not looking good. I'm going to give today's forecast D for dismal because A, we're seeing fog this morning. B, we're going to see clouds and rain showers around lunchtime. And then our temperatures actually get colder as the afternoon wears on. We'll get up to a high today at 75, but drop down to 65 later on this evening. But the rain chances are not terribly high because this front that's going to be coming through the area is going to be moisture starved. So it's not going to have a lot of moisture to wring out and to give it showers. But the best chance of rain for today is mainly going to be around 10 to 11 a.m. That's going to be the key timing for those showers to roll through the area. So here's Futurecast showing a few spotty showers this morning, but the main front is still back off towards the west associated with this green line. As this moves off towards the east by lunchtime, the front makes it to about the I-59 corridor. Temperatures are still into the mid 70s, but into the 60s behind it. But as we go into the afternoon, you notice the front really loses all the moisture. That's what I'm talking about. A lot of dry air in place for today, so there's not going to be a lot of rain associated with it. So just like last week, we'll see a little band of showers come through, and that's about it. Temperatures will fall for the rest of the afternoon back into the 50s by 8 o'clock. And overnight, we clear things out with temperatures bottoming out into the low 40s. So we'll be clear overnight. Tomorrow, bright and sunny, highs into the low 60s. And it's key that we clear out tonight because we do have an almost total lunar eclipse for us in the Pine Belt. This will occur tomorrow morning at around 3 in the morning. That's when it'll reach the peak eclipse. So you got to get up with me and Vanessa tomorrow morning if you really want to see this. It'll start around 1 a.m., peak around 3, and end just before 5 a.m. So it'll be a pretty cool sight for you and the kiddos to go look at. This weekend, high and dry, a lot of sunshine, temperatures in the upper 60s to low 70s. But we'll start off next week with some more rain showers across the area for your Monday. Thanksgiving Day right now looking mostly dry, but cloudy, 68. And then we'll see some more showers come in just in time for Black Friday here across South Mississippi.
Thanks for that, Patrick. Taking a look at news from across the state now, the Environmental Protection Agency has decided to overturn the Yazoo Pumps project, and it's drawing strong emotions from Mississippi leaders on the state and federal level. Quentin Smith breaks down the war of words between two members of our congressional delegation.
The Yazoo Pumps project was created to prevent backwater flooding in the Delta, but the Environmental Protection Agency's ruling says it does not meet all of the federal requirements. As a result, the pumps are no longer allowed, a decision the Mississippi Sierra Club favors.
The most recent numbers generated by the Corps of Engineers, that it is only 17% of that area in the 2019 flood would have been dry, and the other 83% would continue to flood. So who's really benefiting from this project?
This is a dollar bill.
Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith is putting the blame on Congressman Benny Thompson for the EPA's decision, saying in part, "I also give credit where credit is due." Congressman Benny Thompson destroyed this project, taking one position in his district but working against it in Washington, end quote. However, the congressman is now firing back against those claims.
If she is aware of me talking to anybody here in Washington, as she say, that's against the project, then she needs to put up or shut up.
Thompson has been an advocate for the pumps, but he says he can't support the project if it doesn't meet the federal guidelines. Under the Bush administration, the EPA vetoed the project. Years later, the EPA under the Trump administration approved a modified version of it. But now, the Biden administration is reversing that decision. Although the project has been halted, Thompson says there are still other solutions that could come into play to help with flooding issues in the Delta.
I know that there have been discussions about smaller pumps. There's some concern that we could do channeling, diverting the water in another direction. But again, if there are homes that are in imminent danger, there's an opportunity for us to buy the property from the homeowners.
Governor Reeves said in a statement that his administration will fight the decision and will stop at nothing until the project is done. After the break, we'll tell you about some Hollywood favorites who are celebrating a big birthday. Stay with us. Welcome back. Time right now at 6:23. This morning, we want to wish a famous mouse duo a very happy birthday, Mickey and Minnie Mouse. They both turned 93 years young today. The couple made their big debuts in the animated movie Steamboat Willie November 18th, 1928. Now, some fun facts. Mickey and Minnie both have their own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Walt Disney admitted privately in 1933 that Minnie and Mickey are married, but it's never been officially stated. And their original names were Mortimer and Minerva. All right, well, this week marks another magical birthday. 20 years ago, the first Harry Potter movie hit theaters. A world of witchcraft and wizardry came to life on the big screen with Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, kicking off one of the most successful movie franchises ever. With 8 movies in the full series, people grew up with David Radcliffe, Emma Watson, and Rupert Grint, aka Harry, Hermione, and Ron. Now there's costume, toys, theme park experiences, and even hotel rooms inspired by the series.
And of course, the series was inspired by the books.
Yeah, I don't know anything Harry Potter.
Which, J.K. Rowling published the first one, I think, in '97. So.
And you're a huge fan.
I am a huge. Rachel's an even bigger fan than I am, but at least I know what house I belong to. I'm a Hufflepuff.
Oh. Okay.
And she is too, apparently.
I don't know.
Puff Pride.
How many houses are there?
There are 4 houses.
Okay.
You got Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, Slytherin, and then Gryffindor.
Which one would I belong to?
I don't know. You got to go to the Sorting Hat and find out.
Okay. Hey, well, I went outside, or at least looked outside. It's dark and foggy out there.
Yeah, it's really foggy out there this morning, and we're seeing a lot of fog, not only here at the TV station.
Scary.
But how?
Because you can barely see out there.
Okay.
Go ahead, sorry.
Vanessa's scared of not being able to see anything.
I just drive like this. Okay, look.
Somebody,
go ahead. Go to this.
I'm sure somebody says you drive like an abuela.
I drive like an abuela. Yes. See, porque it's foggy out there. Check the sky cam.
All right, let's go ahead and look at the sky cam
So y'all
this
can
morning. And if you don't know Spanish, that means Vanessa drives like a grandma when it's foggy. She's all up on that steering wheel. We're seeing dense fog across the area. 6:25 is the current time. Dense fog reported across much of the viewing area. And we're warm, low 60s to start off your day this morning. 63 in Laurel, 61 in the Hub City, and 65 right now in McGee. Rain showers will move in later on this morning towards lunchtime as the front comes through the area. That's also when our high is going to be. Temperatures will fall into the afternoon from the 70s back into the 60s and eventually the 50s by 6 o'clock this evening. So we're going to be keeping a close eye on that. As we go into tonight, we're going to see temperatures fall back down generally into the 40s. And then for your day tomorrow, it's going to be much nicer with highs only into the low 60s. But there's those rain showers coming in here by 10 to 11 o'clock on Futurecast. This front's not going to have a lot of rain with it, but it definitely will cool us down for your day tomorrow afternoon.
All right, thanks for that, Patrick. If you are in need of MEMA assistance after Hurricane Ida, the deadline to apply is coming up quick. What you need to know next at 6:30.